If you're a baseball fan, you're probably familiar with former MLB relief pitcher Mitch Williams, as he allowed the most famous home run in World Series history. The home run hit by Joe Carter that won the Toronto Blue Jays the 1993 World Series. While known to most for that play, Williams enjoyed a long 11-year career in Major League Baseball from 1986 to 1997. He played for 6 teams, but is best remembered for being a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. In his career, he threw nearly 700 innings across over 600 games. He recorded a 3.65 ERA, 111 adjusted ERA, a 1.564 WHIP, and earned 7.3 WAR. He made an All-Star team while a member of the Chicago Cubs, placed inside the top 10 in Cy Young voting twice, and placed 10th in MVP voting once. It was during one of those top 10 Cy Young years where Williams had one of the greatest and most bizarre months a relief pitcher ever had in MLB history. Overall, in 1991, as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies, Mitch Williams pitched 88 1/3 innings across 69 games. He went 12-5 with a 2.34 ERA, 157 adjusted ERA, a 1.336 WHIP, and earned 2.9 WAR while saving 30 games as the team's closer. It was arguably the best year of his career, and for his efforts, he placed 6th in Cy Young voting. While this season was fantastic, none of his stats seem unusual. Everything mentioned has been achieved countless times before and since Williams' season, and there is no reason to see them not happen again in the future. That is all true, and by looking purely at the stats, there is nothing notable going on. What is notable is a particular month Williams had, a month that hasn't been seen before or since he achieved it. Entering August of 1991, Williams had pitched in 46 2/3 innings across 40 games with an ERA of 2.70. In addition to that, he had a 1-3 record and saved 19 games. Seems like an insignificant and ordinary season, which it was. It was solid but not notable in any way. That all changed in August. You see, in Williams' first game that month on August 2nd, he took the win. 2 days later, in his second game, he took the win again. In his next game on August 6th, he won again. He earned the victory the next day, and 2 days after that, earned yet another victory despite blowing the save. Mitch Williams, in the span of a week, won 5 games in 5 consecutive appearances, all out of relief. In those 5 games, Williams pitched 7 2/3 innings, allowing 1 hit, striking out 8, and allowing 0 earned runs. I have no way of checking, but I'm presuming Williams' 5 wins in 8 calendar days is the record for most wins a pitcher ever got in that amount of time. Even if that's not the record, and some random pitcher from the 1870s won 6 games in 8 days, that's still insane to think about. A single pitcher winning 5 games in that short of a span. Not to mention, the Phillies had an off day during that stretch, so Williams in actuality had 5 wins in a team's 7-game span. What I can confirm is Williams' 5 wins in 5 consecutive games out of relief was just the 17th time that happened. Plenty of times has a starting pitcher won 5 straight games, but a reliever accomplishing that feat is extremely rare. I'm sure many are wondering just how he was able to accomplish this. It's quite easy to explain actually. In the first 4 wins, Williams pitched the 9th inning and all 4 went into extras where the Phillies eventually scored and won the game. They either won via walk-off, giving Williams the win, or he was replaced after the Phillies took the lead with him as the pitcher on record. In the 5th and final win, similar story, except the Phillies took the lead in the 8th inning after Williams appeared in the top half. It was a string of very specific situations that all had to go precisely right, come into the game without a lead, and depart with one. Since Williams was the closer, the Phillies had to do all of that late in the game, and they remarkably were able to pull it off each and every time. Truly, one of the best weeks a relief pitcher has ever had in Major League Baseball history, and that's only part of this video. The day after recording his 5th win, Williams recorded his 20th save of the year. The next day, his 21st save. His next game, the 22nd, and the 4th game following, his 23rd save. 5 consecutive games with a win, then 4 consecutive games with a save. But wait, there's more. After those 4 saves, Williams took a loss, but followed that up with 3 consecutive wins and a 5th save in the following appearance after that. In the month of August, Mitch Williams appeared in 15 games and threw 22 1/3 innings. He won 8 games, lost 1, and recorded 5 saves. Stat-wise, he recorded an ERA of 1.21 while allowing only 10 hits and striking out 22 batters. If you're familiar with Mitch Williams, it should come as no surprise that 3 of those 8 wins were blown saves, as the Phillies rallied following his blown save to take the lead, making him the pitcher on record. Nevertheless, it's 8 wins, and that is a feat that is incredibly rare. How rare? The Major League record for most wins in a calendar month is 12, set by Jack Chesbro of the 1904 New York Highlanders. Of course, that was set in a time where starting pitchers pitched crazy amounts of innings in games. In 1904, Chesbro pitched over 450 innings, and in the month where he set the record, he pitched in 16 games. If we look in the live ball era, the record is 9, set by Hall of Fame starting pitcher Grover Alexander in May of 1920, a number no pitcher since him has been able to match. Sticking in the live ball era, Williams' 8 wins are tied for second most, as he is one of 18 pitchers ever to have at least 8 wins in a single month, and as you can imagine, he's the most recent pitcher to accomplish this. Prior to Williams, the most recent occurrence of 8 wins in a month came in 1973, and it's only happened 4 times since 1950. However, what separates Williams from the rest of the pitchers on this list is the fact that Williams is a relief pitcher. Every other pitcher with at least 8 wins in a month was a starting pitcher who made several starts, so it makes sense they won many games. Relief pitchers winning games requires a specific set of circumstances that are so exact it's impossible to intentionally set them up. In layman's terms, starting pitchers have a much easier path to earn victories. If we look only at pitchers who started 0 games, Williams now holds the all-time record. No reliever has ever won 8 games in a month before or since Williams. Only legendary pitcher Mike Marshall has even gotten within 1 of the record. Mitch Williams stands alone on top of everyone. Lest we forget, he records 5 saves in addition to those wins. Has anyone ever matched or gotten close to Williams' feat of 8 wins and 5 saves in a month? Well, the most saves recorded by a pitcher in a month who also won 8 games is 2, and it happened once. Funny enough, it was achieved by Grover Alexander. He and Mitch Williams are the only pitchers to ever win 8 or more games and save 2 or more games in a month, and Williams has more than double the amount of saves. Looking at pitchers to have at least 5 saves in a month, Williams' 8 wins are 2 more than the second most, which is 6, set by Sparky Lyle in 1972 and Stu Miller in 1965. For comparison, since 2010, the most wins by a relief pitcher in a calendar month who also recorded at least 5 saves is 4, set by Brian Wilson of the 2011 San Francisco Giants. He recorded 4 wins and 6 saves in May of that year. He's the only pitcher since 2010 with so much as 4 victories, still halfway to tying the record. Some have gotten close, but nobody in MLB history has been able to match that unbelievable month. 8 wins and 5 saves. In August 1991, Philadelphia Phillies closer Mitch Williams, thanks to an extraordinary amount of lucky appearances, made MLB history. Not only did he record a win in 5 consecutive games, he set a baseball record with 8 wins and 5 saves in a month. It's the first and perhaps only time we'll ever see that happen.